You're afraid of him, aren't you, Emily? Yeah, I guess I am. I see what he does to people who cross him. I see the way he uses fear to ensure loyalty. Is there something else that you haven't told me?
Well, it's all set, Barbara. Jade will schedule the jet to take you to Zurich to see the returns from taking Emily back to L.A.
Oh, Gavin, that's really not necessary. I have tickets for a commercial flight this afternoon.
Oh, no, don't be silly. I mean, this is one of the only ways I have of showing my appreciation for all of your good work and loyalty to Kruger Industries. Now, I insist that you take one of our jets. And I think you know me well enough by now to know that I never take no for an answer.
Well, now, I'm very glad you're going to take the day off to rest, you know? Because I think trying to run a hospital benefit, hold down a full-time job, and take care of a 7-month-old boy was bound to catch up with you. The only thing is, I wish you hadn't canceled Hazel, because she could have looked after Aaron and given you a real day of rest.
Well, I don't want anybody to take Aaron off my hands. I mean, it makes me feel good to be with him, and besides, I'd like to have a quiet day. Just the two of us.
What would you say to spending a few quiet days together, maybe someplace warm and sunny, get someone to look after the boy?
I couldn't do that.
It wouldn't make you a bad mother.
I know. I couldn't bear to leave him.
Okay, well, you think about it, all right?
All right.
You call me if you need anything.
I will, thanks.
No need to thank. I love you, remember?
I love you, too. Hello, sweetheart. Hello, the sweetest boy in the whole world. Oh, goodness, we're going to have a great, great day together, you and me.
But Iva, I'm the one who gave birth to Aaron. He's my son, and I've got to have him back now.
Do you know I'm your mommy? And no one's ever going to take you away from me?
At least what you told me last night.
Andrew, please don't do this right now.
What in the world are you talking about?
She doesn't want to tell you because she knows damn well what she wants to do is wrong.
It isn't wrong.
It is wrong. Lisa's your friend. I'm your friend. Tell her.
Honey, you should certainly know by now that there isn't anything in the world you can't tell me that I would not understand.
All right. But just hear me out before you say anything, okay? Just listen to all my reasons. Yesterday, I told Iva that I want Aaron back.
As the world turns. This portion brought to you today by Ultra Slim Fast, the delicious, nutritious way to lose weight. Now there's a new way to lose weight and feel great.
Slim Fast has big news for you. Eat food you love and lose weight too.
Introducing delicious new Ultra Slim Fast Food.
When you lose weight the Slim Fast way, you'll eat right throughout the day.
A shake for breakfast, another for lunch, a sensible 3-course dinner, and 3 snacks a day.
You lose weight and feeling great. It's the Slim Fast way of life.
For acid indigestion and gas, take a formula doctors recommend. The formula in Tempo. The 2 leading antacids relieve indigestion, but they have nothing for gas. Tempo relieves both. Relieve indigestion and gas fast with a formula doctors recommend. Tempo.
When you have trouble falling asleep, take the sleeping aid ingredient that's the doctor's choice, the one in Sleepinol. In a survey, 7 out of 10 doctors chose the sleeping aid in Sleepinol. Sleepinol contains the doctor's choice to fall asleep fast.
Congratulations! In recognition of your achievements, sitting up, babbling, eating solid foods, we award you our highest honor, Carnation Follow-Up Formula, made especially for older babies developing senses. So it smells fresh, tastes good, and no formula is more nutritious. It's also priced up to 20% less. Go ahead, you've earned it. Remember, future graduates are looking up to you. Carnation Follow-Up Formula, the right formula at the right time.
Gavin, that's a really nice offer, but I've already made arrangements with Marty. He's going to pick me up at the airport, and, you know, I can't reach him to change my plans.
Yes, but I have an important briefcase of papers that I want you to take to Joe Fielding.
That's all right. I can take care of that. I don't need one of your jets to do it, though. Why don't you give the jet to Barbara to take her to Switzerland?
Well, Barbara and I will work all that out. Listen, why don't you wait in Jade's office while I get that briefcase ready?
Great. Barbara, send my love to Paul, okay?
Okay.
And, everything's going to work out between the two of you. I'm sure of it. You know what? Tell him for me to come back to M&A and stop fooling around in Europe.
Well, actually, I found out last night that he's not fooling around at all. He's doing some heavy investing in Walsh stock, which I think has to do with Lucinda being ousted and Hank Elliott coming back to work for me.
Sounds like Paul. And it shows you how much he cares. Okay, I'll talk to you when I get back.
Thanks, Emily.
Well, I'm surprised to see you two so friendly, considering your low opinion of Emily.
Well, I told you I went to the party for her last night at the Crawfords, and I think we've worked out our problems.
Ah, well, good for the both of you. Now, about your trip. I want you to remember that every time you look at this ring while I'm gone, I want you to know that what I want most in this world is for you to set a date to marry me when you get back.
I think I'd better get going, and I'll call you later about my departure time. All right.
Jade, listen, I know Emily's right there, so just listen to me. Since she insists on flying commercial back to L.A., I want you to get me the briefcase with the hidden compartment.
Julie, I'm awfully sorry to hear about what the doctor said about you in New York, but, honey, you and Ron can always adopt children.
No, it's too late. After Ron reads all those lies about me in the court records, he's not going to want any part of me. If only Mrs. Wendell hadn't given us a fight over the custody of Pete and Jenny, everything would have worked out perfectly. Ron and I could have had a real family.
No, that wouldn't be perfect. You don't love Ron.
But we really care for each other, Andrew. We respect and we understand each other. At least we did until he saw those court records.
It may take Ron a little while to come around, but if he really loves you, I'm sure he'll realize that's just lies, and he'll come for you.
What you don't understand is that Ron split up with his first wife because she didn't want to have children, and he does. And now he knows that I've got a chance, except for Aaron. He's my only chance.
What about Iva? Forgetting about Iva.
Well, does Ron know about Aaron?
He knows that I had a child last summer after Caleb divorced me. And just to keep my story straight, I told him that Andy was the father, and that because we didn't love each other, that we decided it would be the best for everybody if I gave him to a good friend of mine to adopt, someone who could take wonderful care of him, and Andy could still see him.
Well, that explains the funny looks I got when I visited you in New York.
Then, Ron does not know that it was, Holden and Caleb's sister who adopted the baby.
Oh, no, I didn't dare tell him because Seth was calling at that time, and Caleb was calling, too. They were asking Ron all these questions, and he didn't understand what they were talking about. I mean, I wouldn't have even told him in the first place. But when I finally did, he understood, and he never thought any less of me for it.
What would he think of you now, knowing what you have in mind?
Oh, well, Andy, now that I know the whole story, why don't you go along and just leave Julie and me here and let me talk to her? Come on.
You You gotta make her see how wrong this is.
Let me take care.
It hurts me so much having Andy so angry with me. He's always managed to see my side of things before.
Honey, I think you just reacted very hastily when you talked to Ron. And I have to tell you, I really agree with Andy. I think it would be the most cruel thing in the world to take that baby away from Iva.
Do-do, 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 do-do. Boop, 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 boop.
Excuse me. Hello?
Hi, it's me. I thought I might just check in with you and let you know that I talked to Rex, and he would like you to take as much time off as you'd like until you're back on top of things again. And Ellen Stewart and a group of volunteers are at work in your office right now, so everything's under control. How are you doing?
Oh, better, much better. It's great having time with Aaron.
Good, good, good. Listen, I thought I might bring lunch by for us.
Oh, you don't have to. Oh, I have to go. Somebody's at the door.
Okay, give my love to the boy.
Okay, I will. Bye. Somebody's at the door. Let's go see who it is. Oh, you're getting so big.
Hi, Iva.
Jessica. Come in.
Thanks. You sounded so panicky on the phone last night. I just wanted to come by and set your mind at ease.
Well, I just don't know how you can. I mean, you know, if Julie is trying to get Aaron away before the adoption is final...
Iva, listen to me. It does not matter what Julie wants. Now, in the state of Illinois, unlike some other states, the waiting period is to make sure that the adoptive parent is providing a suitable home for the child, not to give the natural mother a chance to change her mind. Now, you got an excellent report from your social worker, so there is no reason to think that the adoption won't go through the first week in March exactly as planned.
Then there's no way that Julie can get Aaron back.
Well, she could start a legal action, but she'd have to prove that she signed the surrender papers under duress or that there was some kind of fraud involved, and clearly there was not.
I may not be Aaron's real father, but it's my name on that birth certificate, so you can't stop me from seeing him.
Iva, this is good news. It should make you feel better.
At universities like this, clinical studies prove there's a way to lose weight simply and effectively without caffeine or caffeine nervousness. It's Dexatrim. Dexatrim helps you control your appetite so you can lose weight without feeling hungry. And no other weight loss product has more published medical studies to show that it works. In fact, studies prove that 4 out of 5 people lost weight with Dexatrim. Now that's powerful proof.
Dexatrim, medically proven to help you lose weight.
When these two get together, you have one smelly rug and room. You need the double action of baking soda and Valex, only in Carpet Fresh from Erwick, to eliminate rug odors and freshen the room. Erwick Carpet Fresh, double action freshness.
Friday, a cop is shot. Your unit is called to save him. Then you find it's your own husband.
I never expected anything like that to happen.
A special Rescue 911.
Okay, well, we might as well get out of here.
Thanks. What?
No, I think she's been keeping her distance because, you know, Arthur's association with her husband's family.
Well, what about her job with you?
Well, now that I got Candace Rogers there, I don't really need her.
No, wait a minute. Vicky's our only connection to the Harpers. You got to find some reason to make her stay. Look, remember why you hired her.
Okay, I'll give her a call. I'll see what I can do. But the last time Fran and I saw her, she was pretty upset about, well, being involved with a confessed kidnapper. Look who finally showed up. Arthur, you look better than I expected. They must treat you very well here. Well, I'm sure better than they will in the federal prison. Well, I hope it won't come to that. Although I must confess I haven't had any luck in hiring you a lawyer yet. They've all turned me down.
You can stop looking. I have a lawyer.
Who?
Emerson Gallagher.
Really? He's one of the ones that turned me down. How did you manage that?
Well, someone hired him for me. Someone who obviously cares more about what happens to me than you do.
I imagine you're talking about Anthony Harper.
Mr. Gallagher doesn't want anyone to know who hired him.
No, of course, of course. Although, I think it's awfully generous of Anthony to hire an attorney for you, considering how close a relationship you had with his wife. By the way, have you seen Vicky since you've been here?
Not since I was arrested, but then how could she visit under the circumstances?
Well, I'm sorry. But I warned you about getting involved with her. But hey, Gallagher is good news. I'm sure he'll get you off.
Actually, he's not even going to try. He recommended that I plead guilty in hopes of getting a lighter sentence. But then I'll have 8 or 10 years to learn a new trade in prison.
Well, I hope you know that there's always going to be a place for you at Kruger Industries when you come out.
Are you serious?
Yes, of course I am. Although I have to tell you, I didn't appreciate that message that Jade gave me.
I am sorry about that. At the time, I was feeling as if everyone had turned their back on me. I didn't mean to imply that I would ever betray a confidence.
Well, what did you mean when you told her that you knew why getting DeWitt was so important to me?
Well, nothing, just that I knew it must have been important to you, because you took such risks.
Did you and Carolyn have any conversations about me shortly before her death?
No, not at all.
Good, good. One more thing, Arthur. Now, I hope you know from the Harpers, I have a lot of friends in all sorts of places. I make a much better friend than enemy.
You watch them with real refreshment from Coca-Cola products, you could win $1 million. Inside specially marked packages, you'll find a Medals and Millions game piece. To win, match the complete number any night on CBS coverage of the Olympic Games. 16 nights, 16 $1 million prizes. Let the games begin.
Share a moment with the world.
I can't believe you told Mavis. Of all people.
Susan, she is my chief of staff secretary. She has to know about my change of address.
But she's the biggest gossip in the hospital. I mean, you might as well have made an announcement on the PA system.
Well, there's an idea I hadn't had thought of. I thought we got past all this when you finally owned up about us to Emily.
It's one thing to tell my daughter. It's another thing to tell the whole hospital.
You have to be comatose around here not to know what's going on between us.
Well, look what I found in the hallway.
Hi! I came to say goodbye to my mom. Oh, honey.
We're going to say goodbye to me?
I could never say goodbye to you.
Dad. What? Hey.
Can I talk to you for a minute?
Sure, excuse me. What's up?
I went by Iva's office, and Ellen said that she's not coming in today.
Yeah, so?
So I'm just wondering if there's anything wrong with Erin, if she's okay.
No, Erin's fine. Iva's a little tired. What do you want to see her about?
I have photos that are going to be ready tomorrow, the contact sheets from the fashion show.
You'd save a lot of time if you just used the telephone, you know that?
I want to talk to Dr. Michaels.
Oh, go ahead.
You know, I know that you know that I'm in therapy.
Mm-hmm.
And I know about doctor-patient confidentiality. But I just want to let you know that I think that Courtney's misunderstanding my feelings about Julie,
Andy,
and I just...
You were right the first time. I can't discuss Courtney's case with you. Glad you understand that. Hi. I'll be with you in about 5 minutes, okay? See you in the office.
Sure. Oh, I'm glad I ran into you. Guess where I'm flying to this afternoon? I'm seeing my son.
Wow. I wish you'd get him to come home with you.
Oh, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to get him to come home.
Well, I hope you're not taking one of Gavin Kruger's jets. You'll have a tough time bringing him home in one of those.
Well, I have never understood what an attractive, seemingly intelligent woman like Vicky, married to a wealthy, powerful man like Anthony Harper, what she would ever see in a weak, emotionally unstable, ineffectual creep like Arthur.
No accounting for taste, that's what they say.
Yeah, you got that right. People are often wondering what I see in you.
It's my deep, penetrating eyes, honey. At least that's what Vicky said.
Honey, are you back on those mind-altering drugs? When did Vicky say that to you?
A while ago. Jealous,
Oh, yeah, fiercely. Hate to burst your bubble, but the point is that Vicky is taken up with someone like Arthur. Now, why is that? Could it be another setup?
Set up for what? I mean, by whom?
Well, Gavin Kruger denies that he knows Vicky very well. But Hal said they were more than cozy the night that he followed them back to Lakeview. Now, could it be that Gavin denies knowing Vicky very well because he was using her to set Arthur up?
Why would Gavin want to set Arthur up? I mean, for what reason? Arthur already confessed to kidnapping Dana.
No, the murders of Carolyn and Philippe. Well, here, now just follow me here. It was Gavin Kruger who told us that he heard Arthur argue with Philippe the night before Philippe was murdered. But Arthur denies it. Arthur claims that evidence is being planted against him, the button under the dock. And then there's the question of why. Why, with all the brilliant lawyers in the world, why would an international entrepreneur like Gavin Kruger hire a lawyer from a failing law firm in Des Moines, Iowa? Could it be because he's looking for the perfect Patsy? Someone who knew Carolyn very well.
The Harpers hired Arthur too, honey?
Yes, exactly. So Gavin and the Harpers together used Vicky to set Arthur up from the very beginning.
Yes, is this the Harper residence? Is Vicky Harper in? Do you know where she can be reached? Well, this is Daryl Crawford in Oakdale. No, that's okay. Just ask her to give me a call when she gets back in. Thanks very much. Well, the guy who answered said he didn't know where she was or when she was expected back.
What if Anthony didn't know about Vicky's relationship with Arthur and then just suddenly found out?
Oh, and they must have had some sort of understanding about her, or Vicky never would have been around it. I'll get it. Vicky.
Hello, Daryl.
We'll continue with part 2 of As the World Turns in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, the United States ladies figure skating team. Christy Yamaguchi, the reigning U.S. and world champion. Nancy Kerrigan, last year's world bronze medalist. Tanya Harding, 1991 U.S. champion. 3 American women out to sweep the medals. The Olympic Winter Games on CBS.
This is CBS.
Hello, I'm Bob Casey.
Blood pressure check during the North Iowa Medical Center's Heart Affair 92, February 5th through the 7th. There's no fasting required. All tests are medically supervised, and you receive your results in just minutes. 8 community organizations have joined North Iowa Medical Center to bring you this special opportunity, which includes talks about stress management, exercise, diet, and other heart-related topics. The cost of the test is only $6. Call Ask a Nurse for more details on Heart Affair 92. Be smart. Take your health to heart.
Oh, I'm Monty Allen. Coming up tonight from your news leader, we'll be in Austin, Minnesota, where authorities are trying to get to the bottom of a bizarre kidnapping case. And there may be some good news for the millions of Americans who are trying to break out of their smoking habit. We'll also have the second part of Cammie Ratson's in-depth look at how businesses are faring in small North Iowa communities. In weather, Eric says cooler temperatures will take us at least into the weekend. And in sports, Gary will have more from beautiful Albertville, France, and the 1992 Winter Olympic Games. Join us tonight at 6.
Share a moment with the world.
And now part 2 of As the World Turns.
We'll talk about ESP. I was just trying to call you. Come on in.
I wasn't sure I could face you. I feel so guilty about missing that meeting at Walsh.
Hey, I know how upset you were when you first heard about Arthur's confession. I figured it must have been something to do with that.
Well, it did take a couple of days to really sink in, but the most important thing to me right now is getting back to work. Please say you'll forgive.
Always forgiven, but I can't speak for Candace.
No, I know. I'll have to deal with her myself.
So did you go someplace warm and sunny?
No, I thought you might have heard.
Heard what?
Well, I went back to Des Moines to visit Carolyn's Uncle Charles. I was sure he'd mention it to you.
He didn't.
Oh. Well, we had a very pleasant visit. It felt good to go back there. Kind of remind myself of who I am, or it used to be anyway. And while I was there, I went to Carolyn's grave to pay my respects.
It was horrible. I was married to Gavin. And he told me that now I didn't have to worry about Daryl ever finding out the truth about Jennifer. And then all of a sudden, his assistant, Jade, was there, and she had this strange smile on her face. And then I turned around, and Tess was there, and Tess asked me how I could have married Gavin when I still loved Hal. And I told her that I had to, because I was trying to protect someone that I loved. And then I turned around, and Emily was there, and Emily said that she had warned me about Gavin, and that I hadn't listened, that he was worse than James ever was, and that Paul had called her and told her that if I married Gavin, that he'd never speak to me again. And I told her that I'd lost my son because I had to, in order to protect my daughter. I tried to explain, I just tried to explain, and no one would listen to me. And then all of a sudden, Jade was there again, and she had the tickets to our honeymoon, but they were in the name of Mr. and Mrs. George Stewart. I just woke up with a start. My heart was pounding. I tell you, Lynn, I can't go on like this. I can't. I'm going to make myself sick. I know I am. I've got to get away on this trip. And maybe I'll find an answer.
Are you sure you don't know this answer already?
I can't tell Daryl and Franny. I can't.
How else are you going to get out from underneath this threat?
Lynn, I told Hal the truth. That's how all this started. I told the truth.
That's right, but you were also having panic attacks at the time. Do you remember that? Now, how long could you have gone on living in a state of panic? I think about as long as you could go on living in the state of anxiety you're in right now.
Maybe you're right. I just have to decide if telling Daryl and Franny is really the only way out. And if it is, I mean, how do I do it? Do I go to Daryl and tell him and let him tell Franny, or do I tell the two of them together so she doesn't think that he's kept something from her?
Well, she's going to know that he kept the night in Rome from her.
Yes, but I can take the blame for that. I can say that I made him keep quiet about it. My God, it was long before she had ever met him.
I know. You're right, you're right. As much as I would like to see you get out from under this thing, you do have to give it a lot of consideration to decide how you're going to go about it. And I think getting away would help you do that.
You know, I just keep trying to imagine what it would feel like to having all of this out in the open. I've just been so scared about my little sister. I'm so scared about my relationship with her. I haven't had a single moment of honesty with Franny since she told me that she was in love with Daryl. I feel like I've been dishonest with everyone in my whole life. Maybe you're right. Maybe finding the courage to tell the truth is the only way out.
Got into that cat!
What was that? Ow! Got into that cat! Huh?
What got into that cat?
Great-tasting Friskies, filled with energy-producing nutrients to bring out the frisky in your cat.
What got into that cat?
You're the picture of good health. Eating foods the Surgeon General recommends.
And I told her that there was no way she could try and take Aaron from you. She's with Lisa now, and if there's anybody that can talk sense into her, it's her. She's just on an emotional roll. She found out from some doctors that it would be dangerous for her to have other children, and she's afraid she's going to lose Ron Gillette.
She doesn't love him, though. She's basically a good person. She's just confused.
Well, that may be, but I mean, if she can't get Pete and Jenny back, and if she sees that there's a chance to get Aaron...
No chance. She gave him up. You're his mother. No one's gonna take you away from your mommy, little boy.
Andy, Jessica came by today, and she said that the only way that Julie could possibly get Aaron back is to prove that she signed those papers under duress or to prove that there was fraud involved.
Good. No problem.
Andy, how can you say that? Jessica doesn't know there's fraud involved. We do. Your name on that birth certificate is a lie. What
I
more
know that.
fraud does Julie need?
Julie wouldn't do that to me.
Andy, desperate people do desperate things. Now, we both know Julie well enough to know that when she feels trapped, there is no telling what she is going to do.
She's not gonna do it. I'm not gonna let her take Aaron from us.
No, I've never used Mr. Greer before. When I lived in Oakdale, Jessica Griffin was my lawyer, but I can't use her this time. Yeah, could you remind him that I've met him several times through Tony Reyes?
Lisa, that's the door.
I know, I'm getting it.
No, I'm sorry. I don't have a number I can give you right now, but I'll call back later and see if I can get an appointment. Okay.
Oh, good.
Bye-bye. Hi, what are you doing here? I thought you were going to L.A. I am, but I wanted to say goodbye, and I want to get you dressed in New York because I should send you a baby gift finally. Oh, no, you don't have to worry about that.
I want to have some coffee.
No, I have a cab waiting downstairs. I got to go back to my mom's and pick up my luggage, and then I'm off to the airport. So.
Why don't you drive this lady out to the airport? You can use my car. I'll give you the keys.
I would love it.
Okay, I will. Wonderful.
So I want to see some baby pictures, please.
Do you know that she didn't bring any pictures of that baby? My namesake, too, and I am so angry with her, I don't know what to do. So why don't you, if you have time, why don't you go to the airport, have lunch there? And here are the keys, darling.
Thank you.
Yeah, so have a
You
lovely...
take care of yourself, okay?
You have a safe trip.
Bye, Lisa.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Drive carefully. Be careful with my car. Bye. Yes, Dr. Randall Taylor, please. Oh, hello, Dr. Taylor. This is Lisa Mitchell. I'm calling on the condition of John Eldridge. Oh, I see. That's a shame. Look, while I have you on the phone, I would like to ask you this. I was sort of surprised that you mentioned John's younger brother, Thomas, to Dr. Hughes when he called. I mean, was there a reason? Oh, I didn't realize that you had known Thomas. I see. Yeah, well, okay, someone's at my door, and I'm sure that Helen will keep me up with things that are happening, okay? Thank you so much. Won't bother you again. Oh.
Hi, Lisa.
Jessica, come in.
Thank you. I'm here to see Julie. Is she around?
Well, no, she went to the airport with Emily.
Oh, has she left town?
No. She just drove Emily to the airport.
Oh.
Come on in, have a seat.
Oh, thank you.
I have an idea why you're probably here. Look, Julie's not going to go through with this thing. She really isn't. She was just acting under duress at the moment when she talked with Ron, and she's a good kid. She'll let it pass.
Well, I just want to make sure Julie understands that in this state she has no right to contest this adoption unless she can prove she signed the papers under duress, the surrender papers, or she can prove there was something fraudulent about the process, some misrepresentation.
No. We don't even have to bother with all that legal talk. Really, we don't. I'm sure that Julie will make sure that Ivor does get to keep the baby. It was just so sweet of you to worry about that and to come over.
Well, Lisa, now that I'm here, I'd like to talk to you about Duncan.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that. Look, Jess, I'm doing my very best to understand the situation, and please, to talk about it doesn't...
Lisa, that's not what I want to talk about. I'm really worried about Duncan.
Oh.
He's cutting himself off from everyone who doesn't approve of our relationship, including you. I'm sure you must have felt that. And that is the exact opposite of what I'm trying to do. I am trying to include my family and friends, hoping that someday they'll come to accept us as a couple. And I'm just afraid that if Duncan continues to push people out who are important to him, that he'll come to resent our relationship and me.
Oh, no, that'll never happen. Duncan loves you.
And I love him. And I told him that we can't just lock ourselves away in the castle. We have to deal in the real world, and that means reaching out to people, not pushing them away. So would you help me make him understand that?
Don't you think it was a little odd, what she said about visiting Carolyn's grave?
What?
Well, according to Evelyn, Carolyn never trusted Vicky, or for that matter, even liked her.
God, I'm amazed Evelyn would say something like that. It must have been before I knew Carolyn. Sounds like a call for Daddy.
Whoa, 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 maybe it's a call for Mommy.
No, my daughter and I have our own special set of signals worked out.
I'm toast. More coffee, Vicky?
Yes, thanks. Candace was much friendlier than usual. She must know about Arthur. Maybe she feels sorry for me.
Have you seen Arthur since all this has happened?
No. I wasn't sure what to say. I guess I really should go and see him.
You know, Vicky, there's something I've never quite understood, and that's your connection with Arthur.
Well, why would you? You're married to a loving, sensitive, adoring man. I'm married to the exact opposite. There have been other women in his life from the first day I met him. Just the way he is.
So he never minded that you had another man in yours?
It's very hard to explain. And I'm not going to try.
Okay.
And Arthur was a mistake for a lot of reasons, but my situation with Anthony made me very vulnerable to any attention from another man. Arthur seemed to appreciate me, and that felt good for a while.
Well, this is none of my business, but why do you stay with Anthony?
I'm afraid to leave him. But please, you must never, ever share that with anyone, not even Darryl.
Excuse me.
Well, my sister.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi,
Sweetie,
how
what a
are
nice
you?
surprise. Come on in.
Thank you.
Oh, Franny, maybe I should come back another time.
No, stay. It's fine.
State finals coming up. I mean, it's a great opportunity for the kids. But there's a lot of pressure to win. And I have a lot of stress, so I don't eat right. I do get irregular. And I don't project a winning attitude, so the boys see that. I mean, I don't like those harsh chemical laxatives, so I tried this natural bulk fiber stuff. But all the grit, I just can't take it all the time. And I thought I could take anything, right? Oh, then I see where Metamucil's got a new product with no grit. It's called Sunrise Smooth. There's no grit in the mix, no grit in the taste. So easy to take. I get the extra fiber I need every day to get regular and stay that way. You got a winning attitude, you win. If you're lucky.
Sunrise Smooth Metamucil. You can stay regular for the rest of your life.
KC, MIC, friends and families. Was that the FBI? Oh, the MCI. Sir, there's a young gentleman on the phone from MCI. He says their friends and family plan can save us quite a bit of money.
Tell the young gentleman we have quite enough money already. And while you're at it, throw another $25,000 on the fire. There's quite a jewel tonight.
For those who need an even greater incentive, we're now offering $20 in free long distance if you join MCI and friends and family.
18,200. 18,200.
We sure hope that's enough.
18,250.
I'm thirsty!
Introducing High C fruit drinks in a lightweight shatterproof bottle. And you can put a lid on it, which is probably more than you can say for some.
I hear your show is a smash. I was so annoyed I had to miss it, but I'd love to come by Fashions and see the collection.
Well, I'd love to show it to you. Barbara, please, sit down. No, I really have to run. I have to get back to the place, and Gavin's picking me up before he takes me to the airport.
Oh, where are you going?
I'm flying to Zurich to see my son.
And Gavin's not going to go with you?
No. Actually, I stopped by to speak to Daryl for just a second. I thought maybe he could give me some advice on how I could possibly convince my son to come back to the States and maybe go back to work for Montgomery & Associates. But, you know, now that I'm saying it out loud, it kind of sounds like a silly idea, so maybe just forget I said it, and I'll be on my way. Okay?
Barb,
come on, don't, really. I mean, I'm sure Daryl would love it.
Carolyn, look
There they are.
here.
Hi.
It's your famous
There's my
Aunt Barbara, the fashion designer.
Hi, sweetie. Honey, Barbara was just telling me that they were going to be, she's taking a trip to Switzerland. She wanted to know if you could maybe give some advice to Paul about... Yes, but, you know, I just suddenly realized that it's not my place. My son will be so upset with me for interfering in his life again, so I really better get home and pack and be on my way.
Well, maybe little Jennifer can stay with us, huh?
No, no, I think it's best if she stays at home in her own surroundings. And on that note, I will get home and pack, because Gavin's going to be picking me up.
Gavin's not the kind of man who likes to be kept waiting.
No, he's not. Bye-bye.
You want to grab some lunch before I head over to the office?
I'm going to stick right here to see what Gallagher's got up his sleeve.
Well, Brienne's going to call if she hears anything.
Let me know what she says.
The minute I hear. Okay. Look at that. Excuse me, Tom, Margot.
Hi, I wanted to stop by to see if you had anything new on Philippe's murder. Barbara's flying to Europe today to see Paul, and while she's there, she'll probably run into Nicole. And I was hoping there might be something positive to pass on.
No, not really. We're hoping to get a confession out of Arthur, based on the news that you gave us that you heard him arguing with Philippe the night before he was murdered. But Arthur's sticking to his story, claiming he was framed.
And now that Arthur's being represented by Emerson Gallagher, I doubt he's going to change that story.
Yeah, well, knowing Gallagher's reputation, I was surprised when Arthur told me that he was recommending he plead guilty.
I was so surprised to see you guys waiting here for me. That was awfully nice.
It was Larry's idea. But we got very worried when we couldn't find you. I thought you'd already gotten on the plane.
No, Julie drove me here and we had lunch. I was just saying goodbye to her.
Will you come back then for a visit and bring Marty with you?
I will, but you can come out and visit me, too. The four of us would have a lot of fun out there.
Yeah, I think Marty and Larry must be about the same.
Well, it's been nice chatting with you. I think they called your flight about 5 minutes ago.
Bye there, thanks. I love you. I'll call you when I get there, okay?
Okay.
Larry, take good care of her.
I will.
Don't forget to call. I won't.
I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm going to have to ask you to open your briefcase.
Sure. No problem. It's only papers.
Now there's a new way to lose weight and feel great.
Slim Fast has big news for you. Eat food you love and lose weight too.
Introducing delicious new Ultra Slim Fast Food.
When you lose weight the Slim Fast way, you'll eat right throughout the day.
A shake for breakfast, another for lunch, a sensible 3-course dinner, and 3 snacks a day.
You lose weight and feeling great. It's the Slim Fast way of life.
Because some aches and pains don't go away when the lights go out, we've created Tylenol PM. Related with extra strength Tylenol pain reliever for those aches and pains that can keep you up at night. Plus a gentle ingredient to help you sleep. So you can wake up refreshed in the morning. From the name you trust comes Tylenol PM, so you can rest easy.
My dad had ulcers. So when my stomach started acting up, I was afraid to go to the doctor. But the pain wouldn't go away, so I went. Was I relieved when my doctor said Mylanta? He said it was indigestion, not an ulcer. And my kind of indigestion called for a strong medicine.
Mylanta is strong medicine, strongly recommended. In fact, Mylanta is the antacid doctors recommend most.
My doctor said Mylanta.
Vicki, I can't tell you how much this visit means to me.
I'm sure you understand why I didn't come before. And wouldn't be here now if I couldn't tell Anthony that the DA's sister thinks it's strange that I haven't been to see you.
I was afraid, well, that you wouldn't understand why I did what I did.
Well, frankly, I don't. It's difficult finding out that you're not the person I thought I knew rather well.
I wish I could explain it to you. But I can tell you that I was sure that Dana and the baby were never in any real danger. That child is in more danger now, living in the same house with Darryl. She's the only thing that stands in the way of Darryl getting his hands on the rest of Carolyn's fortune.
Darryl adores that baby. She's his own flesh and blood. Someday, she'll inherit all of Darryl's money, too.
Vicki, I don't want to spend what little time we have arguing. I hope you know that I really do love you.
I always thought you were attracted to me because I reminded you of Carolyn.
Maybe that was true at first. Then I came to love you for yourself. Vicki, the happiest moments of my life I've spent with you. Maybe if I survive this time in prison. What am I saying? No, it's impossible. Well, at least, Gavin has offered me a job when I get out. Why do you look surprised? Do you know something I don't about Gavin?
Oh, of course not. I told you I hardly know the man.
I know he only made me that promise to buy my silence. As a matter of fact, more and more I've been wondering if I've been blaming the wrong man for Carolyn's murder.
Arthur, what are you saying?
Well, in the beginning, I was sure that Darryl was responsible for the murders of Carolyn and Philippe. But lately I've been wondering if clever Gavin didn't set us both up just to make it look that way.
Eric, I hope you know you're carrying very precious cargo. I want Ms. Ryan to have a safe and smooth trip. Well, thanks, I'll do that. Well, Eric has clearance for takeoff, so I better let you be on your way. I'm gonna miss you.
Well, I miss you too.
Please don't let Paul talk you out of marrying me.
I would never let my son make that kind of decision for me.
I hope not. Call me when you get to Zurich. Sure. Thanks, Jack. Make sure the door's secure. Every time you look at that ring you're wearing, I want you to remember, what I want most in the world is for you to agree to marry me when you get back. Poor Iva, she's scared to death. I told Julie, I told her she should have kept Aaron. But she said she wanted that glamorous life in New York and she couldn't support a kid. And now, after 8 months, she decides that she can have it both ways. She doesn't even care how I feel.
Andy, I agree with everything that you're saying. I think what Julie is threatening to do is wrong. It is, but I have to ask you something. I mean, is Iva the only thing that you're worried about?
No, I'm worried about Aaron. What kind of future is he going to have growing up with Julie and this man who she doesn't even love?
There's nothing else?
What?
Sweetie, you're scared to death. You're scared of the thought of Julie taking Aaron away from you.
Okay, do you get room for one more bite? You do.
Oh,
excellent.
Very
my man.
good. Look at that. You know, he almost finished that banana you brought. I think he's full.
He did better with his lunch than you did. What's the matter? I brought you your favorite sandwich.
I mean, it was hard to hold him and eat the sandwich at the, you know, same time.
But that's Andy. He was looking for you this afternoon at the hospital.
Hello, John.